Welcome to Weekly Reddit. In today's episode of r/Tales from Retail. This door must remain obstructed at all times. Too long did not read. Can I return these worn panties and throw a fit? No. Mr. wants a bag? 6 months without using your phone? Lifetime tire warranty. This door must remain obstructed at all times. I once worked at a store that sold, but also bought and traded, arcade machines, pool tables and other man cave items. My job was repairing the machines, but this tale doesn't involve me repairing anything, so it doesn't really fit in TFTS. I notice the back exit has a freestanding dartboard blocking it. Rather than confront anybody about it for fear of starting an argument, I just move it out of the way, and I figured that would be the end of the story. Wrong. It's right back in the same spot in less than an hour. This time there's someone nearby. I don't say a word and I just move it, but he tells me people keep going out that door, but it doesn't always close all the way. And then the burglar alarm might trigger overnight. I tell him we'll get a ticket from the fire marshal if an exit is blocked, and then he replies the fire marshal comes in and has a fit, we'll just move it out of the way while he's here. I don't bother saying anything else. We shared the building with another store and we ourselves had no control over the alarm system in any way. They originally had it set up to automatically arm itself at a certain time without warning. But after they got fined a few times for false alarms and also some complaints from nearby businesses still open after that store closed for the night, they had to remove that function. However, the manager of the other store would effectively force us out of the building by arming it even if we were telling him to give us just a minute, and refused to check the back room first or allow us time to do so. The exit delay was too short for us to even go to the back room and get our co-workers to leave before the alarm was armed. Of course they wouldn't give us a code or even the authority to cancel the alarm if it was accidentally tripped. I can understand us, as employees of another business, not having that, but surely at least the owner of our business should have had at least one of those, if not both. Later on, when Mr. Fing fire code and all who follow it isn't watching, I move the dartboard out of the way, but I print out a sign to discourage at least those who do pay attention to signs. It basically just says emergency exit only and a footnote saying be sure the door closes behind you. An emergency exit alarm would be a good idea, but you couldn't convince the owner of our business to get one roll of duct tape for the entire business to share, much less a proper solution to anything. The next day I come back, there is a larger arcade machine, too large and heavy for one person to move, blocking the back door, so the dummy had to have gotten someone else to help him. I did tell the manager by leaving a voicemail, but he was impossible to reach by any means if he wasn't actually there, and he was only there a couple of days a week. Email might have been a better option in some cases, but here, the computer that had access to the owner's email had no password or separate accounts on it, and pop-up notifications were enabled for email. This means that any of my co-workers could easily find my email complaining about them, and either confront me about it, delete it hoping the owner hadn't seen it on his phone or home computer by then, or both. A side note, that computer also was the one that we had our credit card reader attached to. That's the same computer that had essentially zero security on it. No password, no separate user accounts, no antivirus software, literally nothing that qualifies as even basic system security. Long did not read, can I return these worn panties and throw a fit? No. I work in a store that sells mainly clothes and some home decor. I'm an assistant manager at the time. Lady comes in right after Christmas with a bag full of bras and panties that didn't fit her niece after she tried them on. Now in my store we have a no return policy on intimates, underwear and bras, and it is displayed by signs on all the bra and panty racks and at the front desk. We also remind the customers that are buying as gifts of the no return policy and point to the sign at the desk. We can be a little relaxed on the bras if they still have all the tags on them and look like they were bought yesterday, but it's an absolute no on panties. This lady had 7 pairs of panties and 3 bras she wanted to return. No tags. Way past the 30-day return policy. And she had just admitted they had been worn. I did the polite, "I'm sorry mom, but we have a no return policy on intimates and your receipt says it's past the 30-day return date as well. By policy, I can't do anything." Well, these were a Christmas gift and they didn't work out, so I need to return them. Her starting to go Karen as she slams her large wallet onto the counter. "I'm sorry mom, but it's against store policy for me to do a return on worn intimates that are also past the 30-day return date. I am being as polite as I can here." "You mean you won't give me my money back?" She is exasperated and throws the panties in her hand onto the counter and they slide so far they almost fall off the other side. I grimace at her and shrug in the "I'm sorry there's nothing I can do" expression. "But you have to give me my money back. I can't use these. She didn't even wear them. Is there a manager I can talk to?" She starts to get irate and shoves the bras at me next. "Mom, I am a manager. There are no tags on these, they have been worn. You said your niece tried them on to find out they didn't fit. This is," I look at the date on the receipt, "a month and a half past the 30-day return period." "But you have to." She starts to get loud, looking around for sympathy from other customers who are actually trying to avoid eye contact with her. "If I make this return, I could lose my job due to the health code violation alone. So, no. I will not do this return. In fact, here is my store manager now." "Hey boss lady? We don't do returns on worn intimates, right?" My store manager, best manager I have ever had the pleasure of working for, walks up to the desk after coming back from her lunch and stares this clearly angry Karen down. "No. We don't. We even have signs everywhere saying we don't. And if you're going to argue with my assistant manager, you can kindly leave. This is ridiculous. Do you guys see this?" The lady looks around to try to pull another customer into her side, but everyone has literally decided to be interested in merchandise as far away from her as they can get. She throws a handful of the panties at me and huffs and grumbles and shouts, "Really?" as she trudges out the door of our shop. Later my darling store manager says, I would have given her corporate's number to complain to if she wanted. John loves any opportunity to talk shop and ask what really happened. "You know I used to buy hay for my horses from him?" Edit. Wow. Thanks guys. I didn't think this would get that many upvotes overnight. And to clarify a few things for people asking, these were nicer individual panties and some with matching bras that this lady bought. The simulated silk kind, and she had to pick them out individually because they did not come in a pack. John is indeed from corporate and my store manager had known him for over 9 years. She opened the store I work at when it was first built, so she's seen it all and takes no SHT from anyone anymore. I love her. Thank you all. I can't wait to tell you all more stories. Mr. Wants a Bag? This is a short one, but one I feel fits this sub. I work in a dollar store. I'm at the bottom, and the things I do at my job vary from putting products on shelves, cleaning, being the cashier, act. That one day where my story is taking place was a Sunday, and I was the cashier. I had been there for already 2-3 months. And so I had my customer service speech that I would serve to all the clients. This also wasn't my first retail job. I got cut on the other one due to Corona. One of the things I usually ask is, would you like to have a bag? Where I live, a plastic bag costs 5 cents. It's a law passed by the government. However, I will sometimes not ask this when the client obliviously does not need one. And there enters our Mr. Frustrated. I was passing a bunch of clients, and when it was his turn, he gave me 4-5 small items that could easily fit in his pockets or that he could take in his hands. Since he also was with his 4 kids, I didn't think necessary to ask if he wanted a bag. Oh boy. The transaction goes by, and after he paid, he asks me where is my bag. I tell him, with my best customer service voice, that I did not charge him one because he did not seem to need, but that I will happily do so. He exploded. Started shouting and saying WTF is this? You should always, and started lecturing me on how to do my job. Since there were other people waiting in line after him, I just gave him his bag and said with the most passive-aggressive voice I could make, have a good day, sir. Man, I love clients like this. 6 months without using your phone? This happened to a friend yesterday. He works repairing phones. He has a warranty for 3 months. So a guy that came 6 months ago because his Xiaomi Note 8 had the screen broken, the guy left with his phone repaired and there wasn't any problems. But then yesterday the guy comes to his workplace saying the on/off button is working badly and it's his fault, saying that after the repair the phone started malfunctioning. My friend explained their warranty was only 3 months and that also the on/off button has nothing to do with what he fixed. He was demanding him to repair it for free, but he signed up a paper after picking up his phone saying that it worked perfectly. So it didn't matter how much he demanded, he wouldn't get anything, so he left. My friend told me that lots of people like this come at least once a month and it isn't a big deal. Most of them don't insist much but they're a bit annoying. Lifetime tire warranty. Too long did not read. Man tries to argue that lifetime warranty on tires is the span of a human lifetime. This happened yesterday. I work in the automotive section of my local branch of large retailer. I am a sales clerk and ring people up for services they get in the garage and anything else they drag to my counter basically. Yesterday a man comes in because his driver front tire was in need of replacing. He was an older gentleman that, of course, forgot his paperwork that shows he paid for our tire warranty. We can retrieve old orders so the techs do so and see that he did buy our warranty. We have a certain warranty we offer for an additional charge if customers buy tires through us and have them installed in the garage. It's a pretty sweet deal but it has limits. Our store will repair or replace the tires for 1 year after purchase if anything goes wrong. After a year the tires will be prorated based on tread depth. That means if your tires aren't bald and you bought them over a year ago, we knock some off the price of a new replacement. After an hour his order comes through the printer and I call his name to complete the transaction. Once I scan the barcode it charges him full price and he wasn't having that. So I gather up the paperwork and head out to speak to the tech who worked on his car. Turns out the man bought his set of tires in 2016. That is almost 5 full years. Our warranty would cover his tires if he had parked the car and never used them, but this wasn't the case and his tires were bald from use. I return to the counter to explain this. The man adamantly declares he bought the tires last year and they are under warranty. This is impossible, but I go to the computer and pull up his records. He did come in for the same reason last September and have a prorated replacement of his passenger front. I show this to him but it's not good enough. He swears he bought a whole new set with the warranty. He also bought the lifetime warranty, so that means he pays nothing. At this point I'm done, so I call my manager and explain everything to him. He recognizes the man and remembers that he did the same thing last September and somehow weaseled a prorated tire out of the other manager that works during the week. Probably to get him out of her face. Well, this manager wasn't having it. He takes a stack of papers over to the man and shows him where he bought the tires in 2016 and how last year he pulled this same trick and somehow managed a discount, but now too much time has passed and he can't have any discounts based on a 5-year-old warranty because his tires are bald. He even had the tech bring in his old tire to demonstrate how we measure tread depth and how his tire isn't making the cut. What does he do? He claims that isn't his tire. That he never bought that brand and how we switched out his tire to rob him. The warranty said lifetime. My manager tiredly explained it's the lifetime of the tire, not a human lifetime. He also explained that tire years are based on tread depth and how his tires have now expired and are basically zombie tires from beyond the 6-ply grave. This man was trying to claim he thought it meant his lifetime. I knew this was bogus because he was desperately trying to convince me that his last con was a purchase of 4 new tires with the warranty last year. At this point the man is ranting that we're robbing him, but he will return with money to pay for the new tire. He does return a short while later and lectures me about how lifetime should be lifetime and how his tire was swapped. He will never shop here again and so forth. FYI, when you buy a tire warranty, lifetime means the life of your tire, which is much shorter than the life of a human.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up with the best content from Reddit.